Hi everyone, I'm Zach from Porsche Center Calgary, and today I'm here to show you some of the day-to-day operations of the Taycan. Perfect, so you're not going to be needing to know everything about the car, especially if you're just using it as a loaner. Like I said, we're going to keep this just day-to-day. So pretty much just starting with a few things on the key that I'll mention. You're going to have your unlock, lock buttons, open both the front and rear hatch all on the key. If you want to keep the key just in your pocket or your purse, you can do that as well. And you'll notice that when we walk up to the vehicle, the door handles will pop out and you are able to enter the car. All right, starting from the driver's side of the vehicle, we're going to kind of just slowly work our way over to the passenger side, cover what's important in your day-to-day drive. So starting over here, you can see we'll have our power button. When you first hop in the vehicle, you can just give that a click. And as you can see, everything is going to power up straight away. Headlights, pretty standard nowadays really, but you're able to just leave everything on auto mode. It's going to be regulating, I guess, your lights day and night for you. And then you can see a little bit further down, I'll point here so you can see where it is. This indicates that your automatic high beams are active. If those aren't active yet, what you're able to do, just click your top stalk forward here behind your steering wheel, and you're going to turn on your automatic high beams. And for those, as long as you're driving above 65 kilometers an hour and there aren't streetlights in your area, the car will know that, turn on your high beams. And then the vehicle is also able to pick up any traffic that's approaching you, or if you're coming up from behind on them, and blink them on and off so you're not blinding anyone else. Lane changes will also be on the stock. Turn those on and off there. Coming to your steering wheel here, not too much I need to mention. Volume for the vehicle, that's going to be located right here. You can scroll up and down on that, click to mute. Heated steering wheel, we are in Calgary, so we will be wanting to know where that is. Right between your two bottom spokes, click a button right there, and then you can see on your instrument cluster, I just turned off the steering wheel. It will let you know the status of that. The right hand side of the steering wheel, once again, not too much you need to know in the day-to-day operations. But this wheel right here, you're able to scroll through your different instrument cluster menus, lots of different things you can select. You can swap between your 3 different menus and kind of explore and see what you can find in there. Coming to the right of our steering wheel, we're going to have our, I guess, few shortcut buttons that you're able to operate with. So starting along the top here, your sport suspension, if you do want to stiffen up your chassis, if you're going around some tight bends or just want to have a little bit of fun, that's going to be this button here. You can just click it. It's going to come on automatically. The blue button below that, that is going to be a shortcut button for your lift mode. So if you're coming up to a curb or steep driveway, you're worried the car doesn't have enough clearance, give that a click. It's going to light up blue like it is, and it's going to raise the car into lift mode. After that, if you're going to continue driving, once you hit 30 kilometers an hour, it's going to automatically drop the car back down to your normal mode there. Putting the vehicle in gear, that's going to be these, I guess, levers down here. So pretty easy, just as long as you have your foot on the brake, you can go either put it into drive by going down or flick it up into reverse. And then if we go over here and look on the instrument cluster, there you go. The car says we're ready to drive. We're in reverse. Pretty much you can just take your foot off the brake and you're just going to start going backwards at the moment. Putting it back into park, just make sure that you're clicking the P button right here. And now if you go take another look at the instrument cluster, there we go, we're in park again. We can remove our foot from the brake. Coming to the PCM, so that's going to be our main touchscreen here. Few things in here I'll need to go over. So obviously, since this is an electric car, things are going to be a little bit different. For one, if you're having, I guess, keeping our loaner for a couple of days, you might have to charge the car yourself. So if you're worried about where you can find chargers, quite easy, the car is going to store them. So if you go into your navigation here, click the navigation, here's our map coming up. If you go and search for a destination, you're going to be able to go and select nearby chargers. So that's going to be that one. And then chances are you're going to want to search for fast charging stations. So we're going to click fast charging stations, and there we go. So those are going to load in. They're going to load by proximity. And you can look, I guess if you look just to the left of where it will say how far the charger is away from you, you're going to be able to see the kilowatts. So this Flow one, for example, at the Canadian Tire, 100 kilowatts, that's going to charge the car quite quickly. You're going to be looking at around 40 minutes from a 5 to 85% charge for that one. Other thing you can also do, you are able to look up a personal one I use here in Calgary is Charge Hub. So there's a number of different charging apps you can get on your phone. And then they'll just have details what the charger is. So for example, you need to be charging the car on either level 2 or level 3 charger. Level 3 chargers are your DC chargers or high-speed ones. If you're driving outside of Calgary, that's kind of good to know. You'll have, I guess Petro-Canada will have 150 kilowatt charging stations every 150 kilometers along Highway 1. So if you are going to drive out to Banff, be aware of that. And then that's going to be about a 33-minute charge from 5 to 85% as well. A few other things here in the PCM, and then I'll have a few other things to mention on the charging as we go through. Music and such, pretty easy to use. It's a good layout. Click media right here, and you can see all your different sources. So radio here, Sirius XM, Apple Music. If you want to listen to music off your phone, open up your list of sources here, and there you go. You can just add your phone into here via Bluetooth. Just make sure while you're searching for your phone that you open up these settings and your Bluetooth settings within your phone. If not, it's not going to be able to find it. Climate control. One thing I will mention, all of our vents here, they're not manually operated. So generally most of the stuff the car does is automatic. However, if you do want to manually adjust where the vents are blowing, make sure you come into the climate control settings. You're going to select individual, and then you can see here you can actually drag and position where the air is going to be blowing in the car. And then you can also adjust over here on the left and right how hard that air is going to be blowing. Awesome. Okay, and then going over some of the drive functions here. So if you click on the left, those are going to be your main drive functions. Just like any other Porsche, this car will have its normal and sport mode. And if you go into drive modes up here, you're going to be able to see the difference between them. Also, since you have an electric vehicle now, range mode, if you are going to go and drive a far distance, you can put it into range mode. Pretty much what that does, it will, once you get up to speed, the car is going to convert to all front wheel drive. Pretty interesting, first front wheel drive Porsche. And then from there, you're going to, well, for one, it's going to save range that way. And it's also going to limit your climate control functions, as well as how quick you're going to be able to go well on cruise control. So it does a number of different things. Sport mode, you're able to see if we look down here, it's also available right on the bottom of this screen right here. So it's nice and accessible. Like any other Porsche, all that's going to do is going to make the car more responsive. So in the case of the Taycan, it's going to start the, I guess, rear gearbox in gear 1 at around 95 kilometers an hour. You'll have one gear change. So like I said, just a little more performance, sport oriented right there. And then on top of that, if we click out of here and go look at our screen, it's also going to stiffen up the chassis, and yeah, so you can go in corner nice and hard. Other options in here that are just kind of fun to play with. Everything is independent, so you can click into here, change to your different chassis settings. So normal is just normal mode. Sport stiffens up your chassis slightly. Sport Plus is going to stiffen up the chassis all the way. And then you can also come and configure your different chassis heights, and you'll be able to do this because the car has your air suspension in it. Recuperation. Electric sport sound, give this one a try, it's quite cool. Pretty much all it's doing is taking the low frequency sound of the electric motor, broadcasting it through the car, and it actually sounds quite cool. We've had some good feedback on it. In my opinion, it kind of sounds like a little bit like an X-Wing. Awesome, and then coming down to your secondary screen here, number of things I'll mention for this. So all your functions that you'll need to control, they're nice and readily available here. So you can see that you have shortcut buttons for your nav, media, phone, settings, and then on top of that, front defroster, rear defroster. If you ever need to defrost your side mirrors, the rear defroster is the one you want to click. And then going down, you'll just have your, I guess, easy climate control options here. So You can change the temperature, auto. If you see that as blue, it means the car is regulating your temperature for you. If you don't like that function, some people don't, you're able to adjust your fan speed separately right here. Perfect. Below that, just heated seats, your ventilated seats right here. And then as you saw before, you're going to have your sport mode down here. This is going to bring up your parking cameras. So if you do like that surround view camera, you can click that. It's going to bring them up on your main PCM screen. If not, whenever you go into reverse, it's going to automatically bring up your cameras for you. All right, coming back here to charging the vehicle. If you're using the car as a loaner for more than a few days, chances are you'll need to charge it. So to do that, pretty much pull up to a charger. If it's a DC charger or a quick charger, you want to make sure that you're disabling any charge timers the vehicle might have set for it. That will limit that. So pretty much here, if you look in the right-hand side of the screen, we'll have a battery button. You can click that. All we're going to do is select direct charging. That's going to ignore any timed chargers that we have set. And then from there, we're going to go outside and I'll show you how to plug everything in. You're going to have a DC and AC charger on the passenger side of the vehicle. So like I said, if you are going to use that big DC quick charger, make sure you're plugging in on this side. If not, you're able to use the driver's side of the vehicle as well. Pretty much to open up your plug here, just give the cap a click. As long as the car is unlocked, that's going to pop open. And then from there, you can see if you look below our plug here, if you are using the DC charger, make sure you're opening this as well. If not, you're not going to be able to fit it in there. Actually plugging in the car, it's all nice and easy. To pop open the cap, just make sure the car is unlocked, give it a click, everything's going to open up here. It's just easiest if you use the passenger side of the vehicle to do your charging, because both AC and DC chargers can be plugged in here. The driver's side of the vehicle can only accommodate AC chargers. Pretty much plugging in, just insert the plug into the vehicle. Once that's inserted, you want to click the charge button right here. And then from there, you can either just lock the car and walk away from the vehicle while it's charging, or if you want, just sit in it and you'll see that it starts charging anyways. Unplugging it to get going again, make sure you just do the opposite. Click the charge button, hold down the button on the top of the plug, pull it out, and you're going to be good to go. From there, just close the hatch to the plug and you'll be a-okay. Awesome. And then once you're done in the car, you're back in park. Powering off the vehicle, all you need to do here, come back to your power button and you are going to hold it down until everything powers off in your vehicle right here. From here, you're able to just leave the vehicle. Make sure you're locking it as well, storing the keys far away from it. That way the vehicle's not picking up the signal from the keys and I guess keeping stuff operational. So locking the car, storing the keys away, just puts it into sleep mode, better for your battery over the long term. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something and enjoy the car.